Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Pollo Show. Today we have an amazing guest. We have a graffiti king all the way from Australia. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you the real game of death. He is going to basically tell us about his whole life from when he was a child, from his upbringing, from when he first started doing graffiti until to where he's at today. So stay tuned. Get your popcorn, get something to drink, sit back, relax, because this is a legend that's about to be interviewed. So without further ado, I present to you the real game of death. Welcome, my brother.
Brother.
How you doing?
I'm going well, thank you.
That's what's up, brother. So yeah, man. A lot of people don't know about you and what you mean to the hip hop culture. Um, I know you for some time now, and you a good hearted brother. You know, they don't come around like you, brother. Like you just a unique brother, a unique individual. You have a passion for art, which is graffiti. That's art. I mean, in my eyes, that's art. I don't care what anybody says. And you've been doing it for over 38 years. And let me tell you something. That's passion because you still do it. Am I right?
Yeah, strong.
So, without further ado, my brother, can you let everybody know who you are? And but let's bring it back to the very beginning.
I can start at the beginning. That's
Can
easy.
you bring us back? Can you bring us back to when, as far as you could remember growing up?
Yeah, I'll start it off at 1984. My mother would always take me to watch movies, and one day I watched a movie and it was called Beach Street. And after that movie, I was inspired, and my father worked, he was a chief engineer, and he worked at Berger Paints, and he brought paint home and let me paint the shed. And then an American person, I still trying to find him. I want to find him out. Hopefully this interview will find him and he can contact me
Right, but
because
brother, for one second, I don't mean to cut you off or not, but real quick, like when you was a young boy, how was it for you growing up?
it wasn't easy. It definitely wasn't easy. I've
Can you
lived a
des-
hard
can you describe what you consider not to be easy?
living life.
So it was pretty rough for you growing up.
Yeah, I had the worst upbringing you could possibly have.
Is it something that you could share or parts of it, or is it something you just want to skip?
I might talk about it later. I might say a few words.
Okay, that's respected. So back to that. So you say you grew up with both parents, correct?
Yes, for a small period in time, until I turned like 15, and then my parents got divorced. And the whole family, no one got divorced. It was the first divorce ever because my father was an alcoholic and a drinker,
Mm.
and destroyed the family. He would hide beer in the boot and in the car. He wouldn't even keep it in the fridge.
Wow.
He would drink warm beer, and he was a alcoholic and he was abusive, and he bashed my mother, and I was too young, and one stage I was old enough, and I hit him with a sand wedge of a golf club when he was choking my mother on the ground, and he ended up going to prison for 3 4 days and got bail. And then my mother went to a refuge, a woman's refuge, and they wouldn't allow me to stay. And I ended up having to live on the street. I was homeless for 3 years, and my best friend got killed, shot dead in front of me, and the person jumped in the car and drove away.
So, brother, real quick, I don't mean to interrupt your brother, but so you said so basically you had a hard um childhood from what you're describing. You know, seeing your mother getting bashed and whatnot, and being that you had a defender, I could imagine the stress and whatnot. So after they separated, what then? What happened then with you?
Well, I lived on the street, and
Did you
you
live in
know,
the streets because you wanted to, or because you was forced to?
um, a bit of both.
Okay.
I had sisters that wanted to look after me and stay at their place, and I did stay at a few places, but because I kept doing graffiti and kept painting, um, and stashed my paint and cleaned my hands and stuff, and um, they catched on because I'd always come home late and stuff, do things at night, and well, during the day as well, do a lot of damage, tag at least 200 trains a day.
So you said that you started your passion for graffiti after you watched the movie Beat Streets. Is that correct?
Yeah, I watched Beach Street, and when I was going to school at Eastwood Public, they had Eastwood Library had a dude that was teaching breakdancing, and I joined that breakdancing and learned how to, do a lot of moves, and went to school, and I was the only person in school that actually went to that class. The other people were from other suburbs that joined. There was only a small group. There was only 7, 8 of us.
So what was that, like a hip hop class or a music
Hip
class?
hop class, breakdancing.
Oh, it
You
was a
know,
hip hop a class.
yes, yes, most
So hold
definitely. The guy
so
come from America,
so
and
hold on.
he
You
was
say real quick, 1 second. I'm sorry, but you saying that the school provided a course
no,
of
the
hip hop?
Eastwood Library, Eastwood
Okay,
Library,
okay, okay.
and I never found out where he is now. I've asked so many people and presidents, and I'm in so many crews, and I've never been able to find him out. I've Google searched Eastwood Library for history, and
And who you trying to find?
the dude that taught me breakdancing when I first started. You
Do
know,
you
I wanted.
remember his name?
I think it was Arthur. Arthur.
Arthur.
Yeah.
So
He was black.
Arthur, if you're listening
He
to
was,
this,
he was a black American.
okay,
He was big. He was a big man, the same size as my father. He was, 6'6", 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", about 120 kilos. But he could do a lot of moves. He was very flexible. I think he was double jointed
okay,
like that other dude in Rocksteady Crew.
okay. So that's the
Yeah.
guy that taught you basically how to break dance, huh? So how did it feel, brother, after you started like learning the culture and whatnot, and then actually
Well,
practicing it? How did it feel,
you know,
brother?
I'd do it in the street, and I'd show my friends, but none of them were interested. They were more interested in riding bikes and Haros and red lines and quicksilvers and going to tracks and doing that kind of thing. I done that thing with them as well. I had some beautiful bikes at that time. Bikes would have worth, five, six, seven, 8,000, $10,000. Classic bikes,
When you said
but
bikes, like motorcycles or bicycles?
no, push bikes, classic push bikes from back in the day.
You
They're
said push
very,
bikes?
they're worth a lot of money.
Push
Uh,
bikes?
yeah, push bikes. Yeah,
What
yeah.
is that? I've never heard of that.
It's a BMX bike,
Oh, okay. BMX bike. Okay. Like a
push bike.
freestyle bike.
Yeah, freestyle bike. Yeah,
There you
freestyle
go.
push bike. There's got a lot of names because we come from different countries. So
Y'all call it so the freestyle bike. We call them freestyles out here, right? The
yeah,
BMXs and all that. You guys call them push bikes.
yeah, push bike, push. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, they nice though, man. Right?
yeah. Like they're crazy. They're beautiful bikes, and you
So
can
you
do
had a
so
lot of
much.
fun with that, huh?
Oh, I was a winner. Like no one beat me. I'll do the double jump and go 3 meters, 4 meters in the air for 40 feet and hold onto the bike and not burn out and and
Uh,
and get trashed.
that's great.
And, um,
So, brother,
yeah,
can you explain to us and guide us through that moment that you decided to go out there and do your first graffiti piece? Can you describe that
I,
moment,
I,
that
I
feeling?
friend Paul Brindle. His parents still live at Eastwood in the same house. I see them and talk to them, and I still tell them I do graffiti, and they can't believe it because their son was a graffiti artist, and he told me after school he wanted to meet me in the park, and the park that he mentioned was a park where you basically get bashed. You have to punch on. It was a punch on park. And
So this was like a fighting spot, like a place that people
yeah,
basically go to fight.
yeah, after school, and school bullies and things like that, and you'd go there and you'd punch on. I never lost any fights. I batched a school bully. I won, and then everyone had no problems, and he got barred from school because he put a brick over someone's head.
So
A
can you
kid.
guide us through your first experience through that park?
I was having lunch and I seen him pull a brick underneath the school house, and put it behind his back. And
But who are you speaking
and,
of?
and Trent Brightfield walked up and he cracked the brick over his head, and that was Brett Carney what done that.
Are you saying that
And
somebody cracked somebody else with a brick over their head?
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
he had ambulance, and this was just public school, you know,
Wow.
just uh, first year in public school, second year, third year,
So you
you know.
basically had an experience and you basically fought the
I went
bully.
after that happened. I went over and the school bully was about 5.5 feet. I was 4 feet,
Right.
and my father taught me how to box when I was young, when I
Oh,
was
so he
growing up.
did. So your father was a boxer?
Yeah, he was the captain in the Australian Army,
Wow.
and my
So hold
father,
on real quick
grandfather,
and to bring you
major.
right
Yeah,
back. Yeah, to bring you back to that. I'm sorry, brother. So your dad
yeah,
was an ex-military.
yes, yes.
Wow. Salute to your father, brother. Yes, was he the only one in the military?
No, but it was a family thing. My grandfather was going to be an Australian general. He was 12 months out to be Australian general and remarried.
Wow.
Wife had a heart attack,
So you have
and
military background in your family.
he was a colonel major.
Wow.
Uh, that rank is one off to a general in the Australian Army, and he was 12 months out to V1, and he'd pick and train the best and make killers out of soldiers, out of normal people, you
Wow.
know. And then my great great grandfather was an Anzac soldier and fought at Gallipoli.
What is that?
And oh, that's a war that happened, and hundreds of thousands of Australians died,
Really?
and it was a massive campaign, and America was involved. You check it up and look it up on Google, and you'll be surprised.
Okay, okay,
And
okay.
put in Anzac,
Okay.
A N Z A S, Anzac, and it'll come up and it'll show the Gallipoli War, and a lot of Australian soldiers lost their lives.
So you have
And
descendants that were warriors, right?
all
Can,
killers.
so can you mentioned something before that about your family's ancestors,
I come from Robert the Bruce, King of Scotland.
brother the
Um,
who? Can you say that real slow so everybody could get for those that don't know?
Robert the Bruce, King of Scotland, was won independence in 1314, the year, and beat a massive army of English at Stirling Castle on the battlefield uh, back of Burn, and uh, yeah, so he's
Wow.
renowned to be the greatest king in the world to ever
So
live.
you say he was a king?
Yeah, he fought the Holy War. They even when he died, they cut out his heart and they put it in a box and they put it on the battlefield, and um, they killed Muslims, and he was on the battlefield. His heart was on the battlefield in a steel cage box.
Now you
And
said that they killed Muslims. What you mean by that?
the Holy War.
Oh, they were in the middle of a holy war.
Yeah, they went to a holy war as well. Yeah,
Okay, okay, okay. Wow. So you come from descendants that are warriors. Okay.
yeah. I'm originally a Celt. I wear a ring, a Celtic ring.
A Celt. What is that? A Celt?
Celtic ring. Well, the Celts and the Slavics come from Russia,
Okay.
and they had an argument, and the Celts left the Slavics, and the Slavics stayed in Russia, and that's what Russia is now. And the Celts went all through Europe naked and wore blue paint on their bodies and killed every army that existed through Europe and made it to Scotland and found a unique race of people, and they made peace and they bled with the Scots.
Wow. So, brother, so you saying that from what you just said
You
that
know, 600 years. You want to talk about the Queen in England, okay? 600 years before there was a king or queen in England, there
right?
was a king in Scotland.
Okay.
600 years before.
And you're a descendant of these people?
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
My grandfather, he married Hargrave's oldest daughter and had
Who
my
is that?
father.
Hargraves. Hargraves.
Hargraves. He was a sheep farmer, the biggest sheep farmer in Australia. He was on the $20 note of Australian $20 note, but now it's a new $20 note, and they changed it and they didn't put him on it. I could show you a note. I've got one, but I
Sure,
have
can you?
to.
Can you show us?
I think it's in the safe. I usually
Okay.
hang it up.
Oh, okay, no worries, no worries. So
Yeah.
so you saying that so let me ask you something. So did Australia have religious wars?
Yeah, they had the Gallipoli War. They fought against the Muslims.
I see that. I see that. So but that no longer exists, right? That was just a piece of history at that point in time, correct?
Yeah, England was
Okay.
involved. America was involved,
Okay.
uh, but mostly English and Australians.
Big
Um,
big shout out
but
to all the Muslims in the world and all the Australians.
yeah, but
Love
they
and
they love
blessings.
and they show respect to each other, and there's no hard feelings. And
That's great.
uh, the fighters, the Turks, I've seen them march in the Anzac parade, and everyone salutes them and
That's
applauds
great.
them. Like it's forgotten about, like what
But
happened.
right.
All things are forgiven.
It was just a piece of history, basically. And from what you're saying, you come from a family that's royalty. That's basically what you're telling me, that you're a descendant of royalty. That's
Yeah,
that's a blessing, my brother. So what other family members? So not what other family members. So basically, your family help build Australia.
yes. My family was the first to bring the St Andrew's flag to Australia
What is
on
the
board.
St. Andrew's flags for those that don't know? Can you describe that
It's,
for everybody?
it's, it's a cross of St Andrew that died on the crossways like an X shape. It was a first chord to Jesus Christ, son of Andrew, and that's the devised and made the name Anderson, which is my last name,
Wow.
and son of Andrew, first chord to Jesus Christ, Anderson. That's where Anderson name come from. It come from the first apostle or first chord to Jesus Christ in
Wow.
the Holy.
So, growing up as a child, have you heard stories of your ancestors and your family?
They wouldn't say anything. They didn't tell me anything. They didn't want to let me know. But
Why?
uh, because it was too large, and a lot of people would get involved with me and trying to use me, or like I'm not living in a castle.
So they
I haven't got.
basically didn't want you to live like a rich person. They really wanted you to experience life for what it really is
Yeah,
without the
there's
money.
I learned how to fish, and I catch tuna off the rocks. I caught every species of fish off the rocks except for marlin. I got like $30,000 worth of fishing gear.
Wow.
You know,
So you
I
if
fished
you said
a lot.
$30,000 of fishing gear, you're a serious fisherman. That's a lot of money, brother, for fishing gear. $30,000.
Yeah.
What was you fishing?
For all species of fish, or all of them that you can count.
Wow. What's the biggest fish? What's the
Um,
species?
I
The
I
biggest one.
caught a Queensland groper. They're protected. I had to release him, but I still caught him,
Okay.
and he was about 600 kilos off the rocks. I
Wow,
fought him for about 10 hours.
wow.
All I had
Te-
on was my shorts and my buckle belt for my rod to sit in, and he dragged me around everywhere. But I had a steel cable trace, a 3-ton cable trace, and a 10-0 hook, and I
hmm.
put a 5 kilo bait on, and he swallowed it whole, and the hook went down his throat. I set the hook home, and he dragged me around all the reefs and tried to bust me off, but I had steel cable, and he just swam, and then he hid and sat, and I waited, and I waited for him to move, and then set the hook home again to let him know that I'm here. And
So you was fighting with him for real, huh?
yeah, yeah, it was pretty tough. It was probably one of the big experiences. One of it's probably in my top five experiences. You know, my highest was seeing the light of God. That's the number one. But it's in my top five for fishing
Hmm.
of all things.
So let me ask you something, brother. So back to your first experience of going out and basically what you guys call bombing. meaning you go out and you paint over walls or whatever it might be. So can you explain to us and basically walk us through that experience, your first experience going out there in the field as a graffiti artist, and what did you paint? You know, when you
The,
went out there, you know, how did it transition? How you
there's,
got yourself
there's,
together? You
there's
know, all that.
two two strong memories. What actually happened after school when I went to the park? Poor Brindle, he didn't want to fight me. I thought it was a fight, and it was like one of my
Well,
best friends.
he wanted to
And
fight you.
took me down to the canals. No, he just that's where he wanted to meet me. He didn't want to say anything or have anything told. He wanted that's what the underground is. The underground is like I'm breaking the rules by showing my face right now and talking, and people seeing what I look like. The underground is where you do illegal graffiti and you never get known and you never say anything. But I believe that after all this time,
So you're
38
saying
years,
you guys have a code that you're not supposed to uh, um, talk about what you paint or how
yes,
you go about it. So
yeah.
if there's so so basically you broke that code.
Um,
It's a
I done
question
it.
for
I done.
educational purposes, you could say,
I no. I done it because of death.
because of what
Because
happened.
I lost a lot of friends. Out of 150 people that have passed away,
Well,
I knew
we're gonna get to that, my brother. But real
I knew
quick,
not 90% of them.
but back to the experience, your first experience. What did you paint?
Um, my friend took me down to the canals, Port Brindle, and we went underneath a bridge in the stormwater drains. And he put his bag down, and he was pulling out spray paint, and he gave me a can, and on the other side of the wall, opposite of the canal, he wanted me to spray a brick and have can control, and he showed me how to hold the can and how far away to spray the paint on the wall. And he was confident then, and then he marked out sections of a piece that he nearly finished, and it was called Holiday.
So this is the person that introduced you to graffiti out there in the field.
Yeah, and he didn't tell me he was a graffiti artist. That's what you do.
Who was this person? What was his name?
Paul Brindle.
Paul Brindle. Big shout out
Yeah,
to Paul Brindle. God bless.
yeah. He
Go ahead,
can't
brother.
believe people do illegal graffiti, and I've done it my whole life.
Wow.
He still,
So he basically gave you a can. He marked everything and all that. So what happened after that?
well, he gave me sections of the piece to fill in and fade with the other color, and I done it. And he said, "I want you to meet the leader of RDF," and that was called Rock the Future.
Uh,
And I met him, and his house was very close to the school that I went to,
who was them? A graffiti crew?
a graffiti crew, and he was the
Okay.
president. And
Okay.
he put me in the crew, and then he gave me a outline, and he told me I had to get two colours. I had to get a grey and a blue, and he told me the shops where I could get it, and he showed me how to get the paint, and or just use my school bag and put it in my school bag and walk out the shop. And I've never stole anything in my life. I wasn't raised like that. Like that's just to
So
hear something like that at that age was
that's what I was gonna
unheard.
ask you. How you guys would buy your spray paint? Would you guys buy them? Would they give them away
No,
to you, or you would take them?
shops and steal thousands of cans. We'll cut the wires outside the shop for all the alarms, burn them out, lift up the concrete plates and
You,
burn them out, and that would achieve smashing the glass and going in and taking all the paint and no one knowing nothing and police not coming, no security.
wow.
And,
So, so
um,
you guys
yeah,
had it mapped out, planned out.
oh yeah, yeah, we owned it. Like everyone done it. We it was so hardly like paint companies went bankrupt because we stole so much paint. Paint companies didn't exist. Like Tucson went bust um, after they got raided at the warehouse and every can got taken.
You said a
And
warehouse?
a whole warehouse of
Wow.
paint. There was about 50 of us, and we rigged up the roller doors with jacks, car jacks, and we stole vans, and we packed all the paint into the vans, and
So you guys had an operation. You said 50, like 50 of y'all. So it's basically a bunch of
yeah,
crews coming
pretty
together.
pretty serious stuff. I've been involved in a lot of serious stuff, things I can talk about now because it's so long ago that it happened that I can't be responsible or
The
held
statue
accountable.
of limitation.
Yes, of course. That's what my father told me.
Right. Right. So
Yeah.
basically, you could speak whatever you feel free and safe to speak of. So continue,
Yeah.
brother.
So so I met everyone else in the crew, and there was about 10 of us. And I had he marked out sections of the paint that I took, that
Okay.
when the best rider in the crew would put up the outline, and then the best rider in the crew could do the last outline, the best rider in the crew could do the character. So
Okay.
everyone was had a job. It's
Okay.
like one crew right now, one up crew. They've got millions and millions of hits because
Okay.
they all get together and they all got a job to do. Someone puts a stick in the door, the train stays at the station, people watch out.
So let me ask you something, brother, real quick, real quick.
Like
Can you so you could guide us
rider
through it?
up the outline, and the rest of them fill in the best filling riders. But we're doing that in '84, not
Wow.
2000.
I never thought
Uh,
of that, but real quick, real quick, can you guide us through? Like, let's say there's a bunch of crews. Not what everything you were saying, but I'm saying I want everybody to picture this so they can have a clear understanding. So let's say y'all see a big war and whatnot. So how to do a big piece on a war and quickly, right? How many of y'all would it take? And then can you describe what you just said? Like everybody having a job to do?
Yeah, so we all had the same outline, so we knew what we had to do and where to put the colours and the paint and do the job, and had people whistling out, watching the trains, so we'd lay down and we wouldn't get seen.
Lookouts. You
And
had lookouts.
lookouts, and we'd wear dark clothes, we'd be dressed like black cats, and
Okay.
we all blacked out, and some people that didn't have black shoes would spray paint their shoes black. If they had white shoes, old runners, old
Wow.
jog, just to be, unseen, and never heard, and do our graffiti, and live our culture, and the public not to be involved, no one to be involved, just us doing our thing and living our world and living what we want to do.
Okay. Now, these pictures that you see in the back, right, on your background, and there's a few
Yeah.
people on this picture. Can you tell us a little about this picture and the people that are on, and some of the graffiti work that's on there? If you guys did any of it, or that's just regular artwork
No, it's
from
uh,
other
it's
crews.
it's all my graffiti.
Okay.
Uh, the guy was on the bottom left to me, next to me, where I'm doing this
Right.
underneath. He
Right.
tagged he tagged Smack. Um, he put PIC into England. I put him in PIC. I'm the president of PIC worldwide. It's in Mexico. It's in America. I
What is that?
started. It started off in America. Two American graffiti writers come in 1984 to Sydney and put Spook and Costy, the two best writers that they could find, and put them in PIC,
What
Partners in
is
Crime.
PIC? Partners in Crime.
Partners in Crime, and it was in New York trains in the 1970s. But all those writers have gone. There's no president, and they've died, and it's all disappeared.
Right.
And because I kept it going, um, was like the lone soldier, and the last one left. And then I started putting people in the crew. So basically, I'm president. There's no one else can say they've done more damage than me than
So
PIC, and been putting it up longer than anyone else.
I see
Um,
38 years. That's a long time, brother. But real,
I know
real quick.
not
I
it's it's shorter, but
oh, okay, like 36,
because I was,
35.
I was in another crew. I was in RDF, and
But
then I
brother,
broke in '86. Made my own crew called FC Future Crime.
but real quick, I want to stop you for 1 second, 1 second, because I want to bring you back a little back so everybody could get a clear picture, right, of the upbringing, the transition, of your graffiti. How could I say? What I'm saying, experiences. So after you did that first piece on the wall with that guy that taught you, what was the second piece? Like, you took off after that? How was it? Like, you would get up every day, every night? Like how was it after that first piece?
It was probably the most amazing thing that ever happened to me, and that experience has stayed with
How
me
how
my whole.
did you feel? How did you feel when you came home after you did all that?
I was I couldn't even sleep. I laid in bed all night and couldn't sleep. And just a young kid, and I've got photos of me. My mum took when I'm doing graffiti on the dinner table, and they didn't mind, because my mum took me to watch Beach Street, and she agreed to that lifestyle. My father didn't, but in the end, he said, "You make your choice now. I'm a chief engineer. I make $250,000 a year, and this is like a long time ago. He
Wow,
was in
that's a lot
charge.
of money.
He was in charge of 120 people.
Who, your dad?
Mate,
You say your dad?
yeah, my dad. He was in charge of
Wow.
120, and charge of in charge of five multi-story buildings. He built the air conditioning for the opera house. He was in charge for that,
Wow.
chief engineer. That was a massive job. That's a world famous icon. And he had to hide the air conditioning. It was a massive job. He said it was one of the hardest jobs he ever had to do because of the way the building was made.
You said the Waffle House?
The opera house.
Oh,
Opera.
the opera. Opera. Wow. The opera
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
Okay.
So my dad was pretty smart. I was supposed to go to a private school when I was younger, and
How is your dad?
uh, tough,
Yeah. Tough guy,
very
tough
tough.
love. Is he still
Yeah.
alive?
Both my parents got cancer and died the same year, and I carried them both to the grave.
Sorry to hear that. Wow. So they basically gave you strong, how can I say, morals.
Yeah, my father trained like a soldier.
Okay. So how was it in the household? Like you would have to
I got
fix the
drilled.
bed.
He was a drill sergeant. I got drilled. I had to lay straight in bed and hop out of bed and salute him and stand straight
Wow.
and do push ups and sit ups before I had my breakfast. And then I had to go for a run and run around the block, around and around and around and around and around before school. Then I had to have a shower, and then I had 5 minutes to get to school, and I'd ride my BMX bike and take it to school.
So that
So
kept you fit.
yeah, I've street fighted and boxed my whole life. When I
Wow.
was a weight, I boxed a heavyweight. I
Who
got
taught you
six.
how to box?
My dad to start with, but I got trained by a Golden Gloves trainer and
Okay.
4 years
What
ago.
was his name? The Golden Gloves trainer. Do you remember his name?
I can't remember. I can't
Okay.
remember. It's just something that I just wiped out of my mind.
Okay.
There's there's
Wow.
there's I've got a lot of history, and there's so many things have happened, and friends have told me things, and it's like I can't remember. I can't remember it because I've lived a very hard life.
Now,
Uh, I've lost more people
yeah,
than you
that's what we
think.
was gonna get into, that, my brother. And
Yeah,
what I wanted to ask you, right, is that what we this is the touchy subject, and you talk as much as you want to talk about it, and if you don't want to talk about it, we could skip to something else. Now, Can you bring us to an experience, one of your first experiences of losing somebody out in the field of doing graffiti?
Well, it's something that you don't want to bring up, but um,
You don't have to.
it's
You,
like the person's disappeared, and it's like where they've gone, and you look in the back of the train carriage where the driver's compartment is, because it's got front and back drivers. The train can go front and back and drive, and he's missing. And it's like it goes to the station, and you run down the tracks, and you see a mashed up body, and he's dead. And all I done was just hop over the fence and leave the scene of the crime, and couldn't help him, couldn't do anything, and
so
I've
you've
lost
had
a lot,
situations like that.
lost a lot of friends. I've been to more funerals and carried more coffins than anyone in Sydney, Australia. You can go to Google. If no one believes me, just go to Google and do a Google search and have a look at how many Australians have died doing graffiti compared to the rest of the world. We outrank every country in the world, including New York City, for graffiti writers that have died doing graph.
Wow. How many people have you lost?
Well, I done a video, and it's called "Respecting the Dead Ghost Train," featuring stats, IC RCF PIC 210. It's on my YouTube channel, the video, and there's about 150 names, but out of the 150 names, I know probably about 90% of them,
Wow.
and um, I've
And the
been to
majority of them lost their lives in the field, right?
yeah, like, every possible way that you can possibly die, kill yourself, OD, get shot dead, get stabbed to death,
Was
drown.
drugs and violence a big factor in these outings and
Yes.
crime? Was it?
Yeah.
What
Like
was the drug of choice?
I done something. I was involved in something that I can't speak about because
Okay, that's understandable. I
there'll be
respect it.
repercussions. But
No, no, that's fine.
one one day I will say what I done and what I was involved with and who I was with and what happened, and it'll shock everyone. There was only a small amount of people that actually done it, but what we done, we changed Sydney's history forever.
Hmm.
So
So, which
I
was the drug of
got,
choice for
got a
you
lot of
guys?
things, got a lot of things that happened that I can't talk about. You know,
Oh, okay, okay. So, no, what I'm saying is, would y'all just smoke weed? Would y'all smoking weed back in the days, like a lot of kids
drinking alcohol and smoking
drinking
weed. Yeah,
alcohol? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Weed and alcohol. Okay, okay. Cool, cool, cool. So I could imagine, man. And then everything is dark. Everything is at night. Nobody sees nothing. It's that sort of thing. I could
yeah.
imagine.
We dress with the best clothes that you can buy, so everyone knows who we are, but we're supposed to be undercover.
So how
we're, we're
well you
wearing
can't
bomb,
talk, right? You can't
you
say
know,
how
big,
certain things, right.
and we're wearing jackets with graffiti all over them and patches, and we're supposed to be like no one's supposed to know what we're doing or who we are. But we walked down the street and no one would look at us and everyone would move away when we walked. We walked like soldiers, you know.
Mm. So how would y'all dress out there? Like real expensive clothing?
Yeah, the best clothing that was available when all
What y'all
the
had like Gucci, Prada, all that?
yeah all the brands, Lacoste, Adidas, Puma, you know, when they all come out. I got some old photos of me with wearing Adidas
Okay.
way before Run DMC.
Wow. Hey, way
Yeah,
before Run DMC?
before Run DMC. Yeah,
That's what's up.
black and but you can still see the three stripes on the jacket I'm wearing as a kid.
No,
Adidas
that's
has been
what's up.
on a long time before Run DMC. Run DMC made it famous, and good luck to them and God bless them, all of them. And rest in peace, Jam Master Jay. But
Definitely
yeah,
rest in peace. Has there ever come a point in your life that you said, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. I'm tired.
no,
So that means to
no,
this day you will continue.
yeah, until I die.
That's passion, brother. You have some real passion for this. Is it the
Yeah, well,
excitement, the drill, the adrenaline, the thrill?
it, it's the love. I do it for the love. You know, like I got good friends with a 1972 graffiti writer, and he puts up Mr. Dynamite Spears.
Okay.
He's one of the oldest graffiti writers in the world, and that's his shirt there when he's in the Warriors movie, and his
Yeah.
throw ups here. And that was the first graffiti in the world to be seen on any movie, and it went worldwide. This is a shirt that he designed and got printed and sold out in 5 days, 10,000 copies of it.
Wow.
And yeah, I got another one signed by him on the shirt, and I'm gonna frame it and hang it up. I got two shirts, so keep
No,
one for
that's what's up,
reasons.
man. Yeah, I like
And
that little medallion
he
you got. That's like a little gun.
in America, he couldn't find anyone in America.
Huh,
No
brother?
one.
That medallion you got. That's like a little gun you have around your neck.
Yeah, well,
It looks nice.
it's a 45.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. I like that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I got it made and got three made. I gave one to Amen and one to Zaid and as friends with a silver chain, and um, I'm the only one that still have it.
That's
They
nice.
lost it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I gave it to them in 88, 89, so a long time ago.
That's how old
And
that is. That's from '88.
yeah,
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, like when it comes to things like that, I can show you this. This is my
Wow.
wild style.
What is that? Your
This is
nameplate?
this is my wild style.
Okay.
It's superior. I can camouflage it and make it more unreadable and more wild than anyone can possibly imagine.
Wow, that's dope.
You know, when you get right into it, you can see the lines.
Yeah, I see. I see the details, brother. That's dope.
You know, it's pretty big.
Yeah, that's
Some real.
dope.
I'm in the Block
Yeah.
Boys. I'm the president of Australian the Block Boys crew, and this is
Can,
our colour: orange and blue. Blue
can
for
you
pride,
can
blue
you
for
explain
pride,
to everybody
and
who are the Black
orange.
Boys?
Block Boys crew started in America, and now he's worldwide in every country. And I'm the president of Block Boys Crew Australia. I'm the president of actually four crews, three worldwide and one Block Boy Australian, just Australia. But they're talking about me because I'm going to go to Europe and paint. That they're going to make me Europe also president. You know, because I've got styles and graffiti that no one can do. You know, and I
Okay.
do it illegally, and only got so much time. And people do these mural art. It's not graffiti. And one mural art at a Chinese shop, they had scaffolding, and it took them over 6 months. And people took photos, and it went in a magazine, and everyone talked about it. It's like, what are you talking about, man? Are you dumb or something?
Hmm.
I got to do something in one night and produce a production with my friends or by myself, my own work, and they take 6 months. If I took 6 months to do something, I'd be king of the world.
Let me ask you
I,
something. What's the
I,
longest time?
I make Banksy look like a nobody. I know his tricks. I know
Mm-hmm.
Banksy. He uses a projector. He uses a computer. He gets, say, one of my outlines and he scans it, and then he camouflages it and he gets it distorted, and then he puts it on the projector of the machine and
Mm.
projects it onto the wall, and then carve it out with a Stanley knife or a knife which actually got a blade on it, a pen knife, and carve it out and then spray layer after layer after layer, and then keep carving it out and spray another can of layer and have like 10 layers, and then take them all away. And then when everyone sees it, it's like, it's incredible. How did he do it? It's impossible. It can't be done. He's a joker. He's fake. He's a nobody.
Who's this you
If he
speaking of?
Sydney, he'd be gone.
Who you speaking of?
Banksy. If he
Who
lived
is
in Sydney,
this?
gone.
Who's Pansy? Who is this?
Banksy.
Oh, yeah, but can you explain who is this? Because you speaking of
This guy
somebody that nobody knows.
does canvases and gets paid six. $20 million per painting. He does artwork in England on walls, and it gets protected, and they put uh, plastic coatings and protect the wall. And other people who do graffiti go to jail, and the graffiti gets clean, but his stuff stays and survives. And his stuff's just shit compared to the stuff that's getting done. And it's just a cop out, a sell out, and a joke.
Do you know him
And
personally?
I got a photo of him. I know what he looks like,
Oh,
but
okay, okay.
tell me where he lives.
No, but I'm saying I thought he was your friend.
No, he's not my friend.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he doesn't exist to me because he's a sellout. He does not graffiti. He's a pencil artist. Not even a pencil artist.
I got you. So you have any memorabilia there for us to see? Anything that you could show us that and for everybody to see? Like, wow, man, I never seen that before. Like
Yeah,
that big.
I can show you the biggest spray can that you can get. I can
Yeah.
show you that if you want.
Yeah, yeah. Show whatever you have there, brother. Show your memorabilia, pictures, paintings, whatever you have.
This right here is a fire extinguisher. Okay. Now I sprayed it black, but it's red, and it's an old school one. It's got a nipple on it, and on the other side, it's got a gauge to how much oxygen you put into it or air to fill it up. But what we do, we unscrew it, take out the powder that was in it, and replace it with spray paint or paint or anything that we can get and fill it up, and then take it to the local garage and put the oxygen into the fire extinguisher, and then we spray it. And I've changed this nozzle. This not the same nozzle as what's on it, and do letters 60, 50 feet long, high on a wall, and do our
Wow.
tag on the biggest walls in Sydney, Australia's got as big as high as they can build them. We've got tags that big, and you can only do basically one tag, and this empties out. So you can imagine the force of the pressure and how much paint comes out and how quickly and how big and massive, and the control that you got to have. You know,
That's
it's
for professionals, huh?
it takes years to practice. Yeah, it's only for pros. It's not for kids. It's to someone that's painted a long time. I've
How many
mastered.
times? How many
I've
times you gotta fill that up for one piece?
I
Yeah. So let's say you're gonna do a piece on the wall. How many times you gotta fill that can up?
um for that can you just use it once, and you just use one color, and you change the colors, and you go to different walls, or go to the same wall and go over it with another color, and then you use black, and then you use white, and you highlight it.
So that's just
But
for colors, like strong colors.
yeah, yeah, and you pick
Oh,
your
okay.
own. and then a train will come along and not just do a wall, but spray the whole train all the way along and do a wave action along the train. And because you use your own colour, everyone will see it and say, "Oh, I know who that guy is and who's done that."
Okay, okay. I see. So you have your own trademark.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So yeah, continue telling us about this picture. You know what I mean? That's on your background. Because I see
Uh,
other people there. Do you know all these people or no?
yeah, that's my friend was done his 50th up the top, and that's Ricky Seven RCFs. That's Black Connection Rhyme. There's a lot of old writers there, and a lot of kings. A special photo, and we're pretty trashed. We were drinking the whole time for hours and hours. But that's what happens. You just take the photo, and that's it. You know. There's my throw up there on the other side, on the right side. The
Yeah,
colours. Look at the colours. Look at all the different colours that I've mixed and matched
I
and
see
put
that.
together, make my own colour schemes. You know, magical stuff. You know,
Wow,
I can do any letter. I can do
right.
any form. I done Old English. I completed Old English in 1990. Perfect, straight letters, at least a meter and a half high. Every letter of the alphabet come out of my mind, and then after that, I even beat it and added to Old English and made the letters even stronger and better and done them
Wow. So
like I've
you basically a master. You consider yourself a
mastered,
master?
mastered all the letters. I've
You can
mastered all.
you consider yourself a master of graffiti?
I'm a master now. I've completed everything. I can school someone and make them a king. I've schooled many people and made them kings and made them famous. And but they've stopped doing graffiti. And they stay in contact with me on Facebook. A lot of them, and they're proud that I still paint, and they can't believe it. And I get a lot of likes and comments, and
Mm.
but not many views for some reason. And my graffiti is much better than the shit that gets seen on YouTube. I can't work out YouTube. It's strange sometimes. I don't know. You put up
So
something that gets six, seven, 800 views in 4 hours, and then you put up something else and it gets 40 views. You know, like it's
yeah.
just uh, what's
So
going on.
so hey brother, let me ask you something, man. This is all you breathe, right? Graffiti, graffiti,
Yeah,
graffiti, graffiti. This is all you live for and breathe for. Have this taken away from your personal life?
yes, of course.
Would you like to change that? And if so, how has this taken away from your personal life?
Not being around, having a family, um, having multiple girlfriends and relationships,
Do
and
your relationships end because of the graffiti?
yes,
So basically, your passion is
many
is
girl
is, is
graffiti writers.
crazy.
There's not many girl graffiti writers in Sydney, and the
I
ones
know.
so they get taken up pretty quick. And some that I wanted to get, other people beat me to it by just a week or a few days. And it's like, wow, I could have changed, but I believe it love at first sight when I see someone.
Right.
And also, I've schooled girls and they've been my girlfriends and don't have sex with them or don't even ask them for anything like that and be a gentleman. And many years later, they've said to me, like, you're the only person that's actually done that. And they tell me, and I'm surprised. It's like, wow, out of all the writers that I know, I'm the only one.
That's nice.
So
So
my,
hey,
my
game, you
other mates,
single, right? You're a single dude. So for all the ladies out there looking at this video, the game is single. So
yeah.
let everybody know, man. You know what I'm saying? No,
Yeah.
it is deep, brother. You know, I could see that you go through a lot. I know you on a personal level, and you know what I'm saying. It's just crazy the type of things that we endure in life, but it basically molds us to who we are today. That's just the way it is, you know.
Yeah.
And your passion is great, but now, right now, in this present time, would you hold on to somebody if you find somebody? Would you not let the graffiti interfere with your personal relationship? Or does the person has to accept that part?
Have have to accept because my friends died from doing graffiti, and I honor their name and their legacy and their history, and I won't stop for that reason because life and death to me is one. It's the same thing. There's no difference. I respect the person that's alive is exactly the same in death. Some people respect the person more in death than in life, but I respect them both as one.
Hmm. No, I feel you, brother. Um, a lot of people find you interesting because you're on the other side of the world, and basically you adapted our culture, the hip hop culture, which basically is everybody's culture. But at that time, you know what I'm saying? You adapted to the culture at an early age, right from the beginning, and that's a blessing, bro. And you've been doing it since way back, and you still doing it. So you are a legend, brother. You are an icon. You know what I'm saying? I know years to come, people are gonna see these interviews and gonna be like, "Wow, that's crazy. You seen this dude? You remember this dude? You remember this guy?" You know what I'm saying? Because it's always like that, you know. And we touched a lot of parts that a lot of people didn't know about you. You know, like your family, your descendants. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people didn't know that. You know what I mean? You come from royalty and whatnot, and the transitions that you went through from an early age till now has hardened you, has molded you to who you are. And Everybody has a purpose. I'm a true, firm believer in that. And let me tell you something, brother. It's no coincidence that you and me are here doing this interview. Okay? Because I'm sure there's a lady out there looking right now talking about, yeah, that's what it is. So, yeah. Before the year's over, you be calling me, telling me, hey, boyo, I got some chick pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah. Because at the end of the day, brother, you see, man, you're going to find somebody good, brother. You know what I mean? And you know what'll be dope? That if the person you find will be a person that does graffiti too, you'll be happy as hell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be dope, man. So after you did all that, right? You got a taste of graffiti and all that. You know, you've been through relationships and all that. They didn't work out because of the graffiti. Would you change anything so your relationships could work better?
Uh,
Or will it
I'm
just have to be, they have
more.
to
I'm
accept it the way it is?
more caring now. I care a lot more now. Even stronger. I cared forever about life and my friends so much and protected them and the things I had to do to save them is unbelievable stories. You
You're a
could
good
possibly
man, brother. I could imagine, bro. You have a lot of stories. You have told me a lot. And you're a good man, brother. Like I always told you, God will bless you with a good woman one day, you know. And I basically told you, you know, the world has to know who you are, bro, because it's not every day that you meet somebody like you. I can't recall anybody meeting anybody like you that, you know what I mean, still does what you do for so many years. For over what, 34 years and
30,
counting? 30, over
38.
30 years. Look at that. 38, you said?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. Look, that over 38 years. Come on, man. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you've dedicated your whole life to graffiti, to the art. So, you know what I mean? You have to be recognized. It's only right. You are part of the hip hop culture. Hands down. Nobody could say otherwise. You know what I'm saying? When they say the game of death, they could see hip hop.
yeah.
I see it. We all
I'm
see it.
always going to stay underground. I'm never going to change my ways. I've been
Hmm.
offered in the last 2 months. I've been offered 4 interviews in magazines and videos, and I've said no to all of it.
I
I've
believe.
I've never sent a photo to a
Okay.
graffiti magazine. If someone knows me, they know me because of what I've done. So when I meet them and I talk to them, they know that I've done this and that. But now it's YouTube, and now they can watch it and see it, and they can say, "Oh, I seen this and this and this." But it's like, where did you see it and what time did you see it? And they don't know that.
Right.
So I catch them out so I can find out who are the real people and who are the fakes. And in the hip hop game, there's a lot of sellouts. You know, I could own multiple houses, 5, 6 houses, make millions of dollars, and you know, uh, do a canvas and take 2 years to do a canvas and show the world, and the whole world would rock. They'll get blown away. They'll see something that no one's ever seen. But I'm not going to waste my time doing that. I'm a underground graffiti artist that paints at night and has got a time limit, time frame to do his artwork and do the best job you can for the time that you've got and stay underground.
For sure, man. For sure, definitely, man. What's the name of that video that you created, brother? That you dedicated to the all the fallen soldiers?
Yeah, it's called Respecting the Dead.
It's on your
Ghost.
page.
Yes, on my page. It's called Respecting the Dead Ghost Train by Stats featuring ICIC, double E, RCF, PIC 210. Just the letters, and 210s the numbers and slashes in between. And it won't be hard to find. It's
No,
there.
because I'm in right now and I can't find it. That's why I was asking.
Oh,
That,
you find it.
but
I'll give you.
I'm looking
I,
for
I,
it because
you can play it after this interview that we do. You can play it. I'll give you permission.
yeah, brother. I appreciate it. I want everybody to listen to it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But I'm gonna find it. Oh, I got it. I
it's
think
it's
I
it's
got
all,
it.
it's all my
Oh,
history.
ICH Graffiti Crew. No, that's not it. That video long. This shit is dope.
It's my history of my friends and the way that they'll like and word for word and all the friends that I lost from the start from the beginning going through the years.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a couple of years to get it around my mind. You know, I do breakdancing. I got turntables. I do graffiti. You know, I do all four forms of the hip hop culture.
Mm.
Uh,
You hip hop, brother. I keep telling you, man. You are hip hop. But that video, I'm over here right now. Because I know you on your phone, right? You doing the live with me on your phone? I mean, the
yeah.
interview? Yeah, yeah. Don't get off that. Don't change no settings or anything. I don't want the interview to go nowhere. I'm looking it for it. I'm looking for it on my end, so I'll find it.
Black screen. It's the black screen, and go to videos section, and it's a black screen that says "Respecting the Dead."
The black
You have to go
screen.
down because I've uploaded like 30 videos in the last like 10 days.
Yeah, yeah.
Days.
I got it. I got it, homeboy. I got it. I got
Yeah,
it. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
man. I'll play it for the world. If you want the world to see it, I'll play it for the world. So they can know.
Yeah, you can see
Yep.
all the numbers at the end. Like after the song's finished, it times out and it goes to a slow.
All right.
Disrespecting the dead. Doing three trains. lasers, bombers and the burners, painting every surface, train panels being murdered. The whole car with my word, yes. Destroy a whole yard, every service. Graffiti wise, and this the RIP for every grapher that ain't alive, such is life. Graffiti lines, and this the RIP for every grapher that ain't alive, such is life. Graffiti lines, cause this the RIP for every grapher that ain't alive, such is life. Graffiti lines,
game, they're not old school.
Yeah, boys, rest in peace.
They are nothing.
First things first, he's the king, he's the neo. Graffiti pride, lion of the lines, this Leo. Hesitation to drop props on every station. Rock City funk, every panel, that's Jason. The innovation was crazy, style straight up out of housing. Murder was the way that stopped the game 2000. As a teen he couldn't stand up and still be inspiring. No legs and paint a whole cart, that's client. The what's what and morals always got the trouble squashed. Fuck him over and you end up in a box, that's knock. He was always devoted but disappeared in anguish. Take the shirt off his back for the homeless, banish. Always speak with a forked tongue, roll with 40 thieves, shush. High roller when it's 40 love, that's dus. Such a beautiful woman that healed more than many. So sad that she never left the seed dish cherry. Any angle of her craft, it's a heart it would catch. Fly with the king, spread your wings, these flaps. It's a flower that there was no stopping. To be focused, to blossom in a pond full of scum, that's lotus. This crook left you shook, hard path, but he took it. I pray that no one go the same way. This hooker, the king of the Scots, said to say that he miss ya. A true soldier love hanging out, this nipster. Tagged every trainer, got some visor as well. No assistance from a snitch who would tell, that's help. He'd do anything for anyone above and beyond us. A big heart of gold, but he's called Lil Monster. Every day of the year had every train line buzzing. Panel after panel that he painted, that's dozen. Graph in a nutshell, a bomber of all lines, but terrorise and vandalise for less than a peanut. For the ad lasers, bombers and the burners, painting every surface, train panels being murdered. The whole cart with my word, yes. Destroy a whole yard, every service. Graffiti wise, and this the RIP for every grapher that ain't alive, such is life. Graffiti lines, cause this the RIP, yeah boys, rest in peace. Not him with the crowd, he bombed the outside proper. He died for his art, a real craftsman, Rosser. A Bunsen, a burner, a bomber, more bazooka. Busy painting silent trains, can't forget to buzz the hooter. Using words in the right way, graffiti was the bizzo. Respected all the teachers of graph, and that's Nico. The stain up the carpet, or in the train yard, barely sober. And the tin was his lightsaber, Yoda. This one's RBS, tagging up non-stop. His mark echoed when he died, getting up, and that's Potts. With that left, right, turn your wife to a widow. Combination of fighting words, you know that's Biffo. Had petrol for paint stained drains with his word. From the west to the east, left third degree burn. The manners of Bruce Banner, amphibious assault. Best believe the machine evergreen, who halt. TDF pure innovation, at its peak with a style so loud to get around he's sneak. When your number is up, two fat ladies is the lingo, but he too young to go. Adam King, this bingo. Fresh styles, well known, you didn't know. With the fat flow, that's the numero uno. Nautica on her head, the shirt, shoes and the toes. A real ladies man, the girls line up for blow. Fuck the system, every graph mission flood wall. So much pain in his style when he painted up cork. Everything's gone and yet I still hear screaming in my head, but on the wall he's demon. His life was the art when he died a bombing saint. Last supper he would paint, so he dished up entree. Old school writers from the 80s, no pretending to graph up in those times. That's frenzy. The ad lasers, bombers and the burners, painting every surface, train panels being murdered. The whole cart with my word, yes. Destroy a whole yard, every service. Graffiti wise, and this the RIP for every grapher that ain't alive, such is life. Graffiti lines, cause this the RIP, yeah boys, rest in peace. So listen, bomb the tracks, every turn and its twist. The real game of death, so you know that's risk. So just go get it done, cause the hard's yet to come. If graffiti was easy, well then it'd be no fun. Yeah, you owe 'em, you gotta pay the boatman quick. Graffiti's not for sale, loose lips sink shit, it's just action all day when you paint for the love. Another day when the government try and take one, and all the government is a controlling method to suppress a loan that you can't afford, and that's debt. Only Sydney's finest, he the founder of the crew. Now they oh so fresh, Duke Nukem Doom. Always green line, rockin' middle finger to the force. For the pork, all I've got's applesauce and a fork. On every Sydney rooftop, a real campaign promoter carried a ladder to paint his blockbusters voter. Another victim of every addiction, the war's toffee. The pharmacies are farming all the opium poppy. So many paths to go, it made it so hard to choose. My mental health's gone crazy, all I got's loose screws. And last but not least, the headmaster of the streets. When he 20 years ahead of his time, he found peace, the first graffiti writer in Australia. He couldn't fathom Woolloomooloo's finest, put the cars into chasm. RIP searchers, bombers and the burners, painting every surface, train panels being murdered, bruh. The whole cart with my word, yes. Destroy a whole yard every service. Graffiti wise, and this the RIP for every grapher that ain't alive, such is life. Graffiti lines, and this the RIP for every grapher that ain't alive, such is life. Graffiti lines, cause this the RIP for every grapher that ain't alive, such is life. Graffiti lines, cause this the RIP, yeah boys, rest in peace.
It's gonna go on. It's not gonna stop. It's gonna be relentless,
Redfern,
unforgiving, treacherous.
Newtown,
My boys are gonna be going out every night, capping this shit,
Fairfield,
uploading this shit, and let everyone know Sydney is off limits.
City Rail regrets any inconvenience caused.
Go to Melbourne, go to Queensland, go to Perth,
Piss off.
go to another country.
Piss off.
Mule artists are not accepted or belong in Sydney. Stop painting walls that originally were owned by graffiti writers. And talk your bullshit.
Attention all passengers.
You will be capped in many ways.
We are unable to continue this announcement.
That's a dope video, bro.
Yeah, brother.
That's a dope
Lot of
video. Rest
names.
in peace to everybody, man. That's a lot of people that lost their lives, right? Those were all the names of the people that lost their lives.
Yeah, been killing themselves with guns, got shot
My
dead,
God,
murdered,
how many are there,
suicide,
bro?
graffiti.
That's a lot of people.
I know a lot of people, and they all died on me.
Oh my God, bro, that's nuts. God bless all of them and their families, bro, and friends.
Their
It just
families
keeps
will
on.
find out about the video, and it'll get a lot more hits when they know that I've respected their names and who they are, and they see the video what got done. It's got a few hits so far, and it's got a lot of likes and comments. It's done pretty good, but I thought it would do a lot better, but you know.
No, this is beautiful what you did for all the fallen, man. This is just
Just it.
beautiful. Yeah, look at that. That's just beautiful, man. You did an amazing job with this. Wow. That was dope, my brother. That was dope. That was definitely dope. Legacy of Mr. Eternity.
On the Sydney Harbour Bridge, a graffiti artist. I'll just tell you, long before the giant word of eternity was sparked and spelled out and embraced across Sydney Harbour Bridge, it was first written by the hands of one man. One man's message written over 500,000 times on footpaths and subways and beyond, and incorporated beautiful style with his word, appearing mystified in a fantastical fashion. Others will miss it and who wrote it. When the mystery man was finally discovered in Sydney's press, nicknamed him Mr. Eternity, but his real name was Arthur Stace. When Arthur Stace come from how he was raised is special to him and why God used him.
What is that, an obituary card?
Yeah, Mr. Eternity, yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, I know all about him. I've been to his grave and I go numerous times and I've taken other people
God
and
bless his
talk
soul.
about him. He started in 1931.
1931?
That's right. And he was a war soldier. He was a petty criminal and an alcoholic. And he turned to God. And God gave him a message. And he wrote the word eternity. And for the 2000 Olympics and the 2000 millennium, it was put on the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Ah, that's dope, man.
Long before New York City. I've got like a shirt that I'm wearing, I showed you, 1972 rider, a King All City, Mr. Dynamite Spears.
Right.
There's older riders out there that want me to interview them on my channel, that I've been told. And,
Right.
you know, but no one's older than Mr. Eternity to do what he done. And to be a war hero and to come back and do graffiti and do harpooning tags. He's only got 2 tags left. One's in a post office, or 3 tags. One's in a post office, one's in the QVB building, Queen Victoria building, and protected because it's in chalk. And one is on cardboard, written on cardboard and given to a friend in church, and he gave it to the Museum of Australia, and it's Australian Museum displayed. So his history and legacy can last forever. I've done a video on him and written everything that about him and who he is. It's called The Godfather of Graffiti, the video.
Wow, God bless him. God rest his soul. Definitely, man. That's amazing.
Saying that word and sending a message out to everyone and letting everyone know the word of God through eternity is is really special. That's the reason why I write forever. I got 16 tags, and I do graffiti that no one knows that I do, and I don't show anyone.
Right.
I don't need fame. I don't want it. Um, I'm underground, and yeah, it's just special. You just can't beat it.
That's your passion.
Yeah, always will be until I can't do it anymore. Like Mr.
Mm.
Dynamite Spears, got maybe 1 or 2 years left in him, and then he can't paint it anymore.
Right.
And he chose me. He couldn't find an American graffiti writer to follow his legacy and his name on, and he chose me.
Mm.
He's going to publicly say it on his Facebook very soon
They got to make a
and
movie
let
with
everyone.
you, man. That's what they need to do, bro. If anybody's listening to this interview, and if anybody out there has that influence and whatnot, please take a look at this man. Get in contact with this man, or get in contact with me so I could get in contact with him. The real game of death is a movie. I'm serious, man. Anybody out there, any filmmakers out there that wanna make a video of hip hop, this is the man, bro. This man got great history. You know what I'm saying? With the graffiti between you, King Uprock. Wow. That'll be a badass movie. What you think, bro?
Yeah, yeah, it'd be special.
That'd be dope, bro.
On my dead friends and get them all mentioned and
Yeah.
be painting all of them and show everyone, let everyone know.
You lost
I
a lot of
luckily,
people.
yeah, yeah.
Been through a lot. And the crazy thing is, like, I don't know, man. You consider yourself like the bad seed of the family,
Yeah, yeah,
like the bad guy,
basically,
like Tony Montana. I'm the bad guy.
yeah. But Billy from the Bronx,
mm. Is it?
um,
How
I
can I
would have
say?
wasted. I wouldn't have let him go because he's a young buck, and they, from experience and history of people that I've schooled, and they've got good all of a sudden because I've schooled them, and then they think they're kings of the world, and then they think they can just bite me back and do and say anything. So I put them in their place and let them know and clock my gun and deadlock the door and put it to their face and say, "You want to fuck with me, motherfucker? You really want to fuck with me?" Not just give them a couple boots in the stomach and a quick pistol whipping. More than that, basically torture.
So things get crazy, huh? In the graffiti world, in the underground.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. We leave it at that because I know you can't talk about it. That's why we ain't speak about a lot of things, and we ain't talk
I
about them.
can say
But
that in the
what?
nine
No, no, it's
in
cool,
the
bro.
nine $14.7 million damage, ranked most wanted graffiti writer in Sydney, Australia, and the graffiti task force was told by the government to catch the top 5 graffiti writers or they'll get disbanded and broken up. They caught one of the five. My partner, Fear RBS Rebels crew, was two. He was number two. I was one. And they didn't catch us, and they tried every trick that possible. And I was just too smart and too cunning and knew too much. And
Right.
and they outside my house, and then I flogged them with my mate and torched their car, and then they wouldn't hang outside my house, and Molotov their houses, and their house would collapse, and
Mm.
all sorts of crazy stuff.
So, game. What can the people expect from you in the future? What do you want? Let's put it like this: what you want people to remember you by? Let the world know, brother. And we're gonna close the interview with that. What do you want the
Uh,
world to remember you by? And then you're gonna close out. You're gonna say goodbye to everybody. Me, before I continue, I would like to say thank you to everybody. You know what I mean? God bless everybody. This has been a dope interview. Thank you, my brother. God bless you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let you close this interview. You the man,
yeah.
brother. God bless you. Got much
And
love for you and respect for you.
what you speak happens, and I've felt it the last few years. And when I done that song that you played, and it's called The Ghost Train, in capital letters, large letters, and that's what's happening right now. The ghost train is running right now in Sydney, and all my friends are on it. They're on an old school train called a Red Rattler, the best train to paint in the world ever. They don't exist anymore. They got rid of them. But they were the best of the best. So unbelievable. And they're on that train, my friends. And I'll die doing graffiti. And I'll be on that train with them.
Thank you, brother. And thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. God bless.
Peace, one love.